Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and I'm Mitchell Renz. Today's show, I'm going to break out some grades on the Raiders 2019 draft class. Now, before I get into some of those grades, let's take a look at some of the players that we drafted, and it was an unbelievable draft class. Started with Clelin Ferrell, Josh Jacobs, JOHNATHAN, ABRAM, TRAYVON, MULLEN, Maxx Crosby, my dude Max, Isaiah Johnson, Moreau, RENFROW, and Quinton Bell. Let me just say this right now, an unbelievable draft class. That one's for Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. Now, today's show, I want you to be interacting with me throughout the entire thing. So when I tell you the first pick that we had in our draft, 4th overall, it was Clelin Ferrell. I want you guys to comment on every single one of these players, your grades, because guess what? I'm going to give you mine. So Clelin Ferrell, I'm going to give this one a C grade. When the Raiders first drafted Ferrell, I gave it a D. And a lot of people, well, y'all got mad at me. But then Clelin started the season a little bit slow. The important thing to note here for Ferrell is he started to pick it up at the end of the year, which is a very, very good sign. The one thing that doesn't get talked about nearly enough, because you're going to find the people that are just going to hunt the box scores. That's okay. That's part of it. The one thing that people didn't talk about enough is how much Clelin was getting moved around all over the football field on defense. The important thing to note, he showed a lot of promise. He's a leader on this football team. I know the team wants him to succeed. Now, he does need to prove a lot going into year 2, but I am very, very confident that Ferrell will be able to do that in his second season. Now, I'm telling y'all to subscribe right now, okay? Daily Raiders videos all off season long. Don't miss a single thing. Click that subscribe button. It's a big red button below me. Or you can just type in youtube.com/RaidersReport. But if you're a Raider fan, you'll click subscribe. That way you don't miss anything. Let's get into the next grade. Josh Jacobs. I mean, this one's easy, right? Do I even have to tease it? He was absolutely insane. A+ grade for Josh Jacobs, the running back, who I'll say should win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And if you think he should, I want you to like this video right now. Josh, when you look at what he did this season for the team, 7 touchdowns, all came in wins, 1,150 yards, 4.8 yards per carry. The one thing that might actually hurt Josh's chances of winning Offensive Rookie of the Year is him missing some games down the stretch. But if I hear one more person tell me that anybody on offense deserves it more than Josh Jacobs, I'm going to go absolutely insane. Because what does it mean to me that you didn't watch the football games? So who was the Raiders' best rookie? We had a lot of amazing rookies this season, and I want you to throw it in the comments section below. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you might get hit with an ad break. So I'm going to make this, who was the Raiders' best rookie, the pinned comment. So scroll on down and throw it in the comments section, the Raiders' best rookie. Next grade, JOHNATHAN, ABRAM. Now, I've seen a lot of people give out grades on ABRAM, and they gave him an NA. For me, though, my show, I'm going to make the rules here. I'm going to give ABRAM a C grade. And the reason why I'm giving him a C grade, yes, I get the injuries, but obviously he wasn't able to contribute to this team the way he wanted to. The reason why it's a C grade for me is because he didn't play. When you go out and you draft a player in the first round, you need him to play. Now, the reason why I did want to give ABRAM a grade, and one of the reasons why, is because I actually think that he's the type of person and he's the type of man that would want to be graded. Now, JOHNATHAN, ABRAM, I'll say this, might have been my favorite rookie, minus Maxx Crosby, coming into this year. He was placed on IR after week 1 with a shoulder injury. He missed the remainder of the season. But if there is one thing, I shouldn't say one, if there is something that I love about ABRAM, he's a freaking Raider. Like, this dude wants to take people's heads off. He shows great leadership traits. He's no doubt a fan favorite, an absolute star on Hard Knocks. JOHNATHAN, ABRAM is the future of this team. That's why I put him on the show. ABRAM, I can't wait to watch you lace him up next season. Also, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, BetDSI. Use that promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. If you put down $50, y'all get 60 for free. Put down $100, get $120 for free. Be a big baller like JOHNATHAN, ABRAM. Put down $500, get $600 for free. But you can only get that deal when you go to chatsports.com/bet. And when you use my promo code, Raiders120. Let's get in now to some more grades. Second round, 40th overall, TRAYVON MULLEN out of Clemson. I'm going to give Mullen a B+. A player who showed, again, that he was put into we'll say a tricky situation, especially after Garyon Conley was traded, and he stepped up to me. I thought he played very well. 48 tackles. You're looking at 40 solo, 1 interception, but it's the 10 pass breakups. Also, TRAYVON MULLEN, grew a lot this year. You want to talk a player, you watch him his first few games, and then you watch where he was at the end of the year. The Raiders got an absolutely great player out of Clemson, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for Mullen and this secondary. Next player, it's Maxx Crosby. And I'll say this, the 2019 Defensive Rookie of the Year, my vote, it's going to Max, and I'm going to give him an A+. I don't see how you can give Crosby or Josh Jacobs anything less than an A+. I also don't know how you don't say this. Maxx Crosby, well, I'll give away my answer here in a little bit, so I won't say it, but Craze for 2019 Defensive Rookie of the Year, he had 46 tackles, 47 tackles for Nick Bosa, and then Josh Allen at 44. When I think of the Defensive Rookie of the Year, these are the top three guys. And all I wanted to do this past week was get some love for my man Max, because Raider Nation, I put some videos out there. I want you guys to share it because Crosby deserves so much love for the season that he had. He was absolutely sensational. And maybe my favorite statistic that Crosby had, and maybe the reason why I think he deserves Defensive Rookie of the Year the most, rookies with 10-plus sacks and 4-plus forced fumbles since 1991. 2019, Maxx Crosby. 2006, Mark Anderson. 2003, Terrell Suggs. He won NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. 2002, Julius Peppers. Guess what? NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Dwight Freeney, one of the best defensive ends in the NFL ever. Javon Curse, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Mike Kroll, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, come on. Maxx Crosby, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Throw it in the comment section. Now, I kind of spoiled it a little bit ago because I got a horrible memory, but I want you to type this, okay? Was Crosby the steal of the draft? Y for yes and for no. If I don't see at least every single person type Y right now, I'm going to be asking you, why are you even watching the show? Because I don't even know if you're a Raiders fan. The fact that we found this guy in round 4, pick 106 out of Eastern Michigan, is just everything that I think every young NFL player strives to be. If you're a kid out there who's maybe trying to make a football team, trying to make your high school team, a college team, I want you to go contact Maxx Crosby and find out what that kid did, because what he did this past year was absolutely sensational. Yes, Maxx Crosby is a steal of the NFL draft. Let's go to round 4. Pick 129, cornerback Isaiah Johnson out of Houston. I already know some people are going to get mad at me for this grade. I'm going to give it a D grade, so before y'all freak out, before you exit out the video and give me a thumbs down and tell me to go F myself, just let me talk, okay? That's all I ask. So Isaiah Johnson, to me, he gets a D grade. He dealt with injuries the entire season. The last thing that I want is a young, talented player who's going to be dealing with injuries. And some people said that Johnson, don't be surprised if he's the steal of the draft. He is a big, long cornerback, a very athletic cornerback. But when you're not on the field, that's concerning to me. Maybe the biggest thing that concerns me is he played in only 15 defensive snaps, 5 games. The thing that really scares me, though, is the fact that Paul Guenther, John Gruden, Raiders coaches, they weren't putting him on the field when he was healthy. And we watched the games. Our secondary was getting ripped up. We needed the extra help. And if you're not putting Isaiah Johnson out there, my question would have been, when are you going to put him out there? And if you're not going to, maybe it wasn't a good pick. So that's why, for me, I gave it a D grade. Now, you guys might be seeing that I'm repping some new gear here. I got the deal, chatsports.com/Raiders combo. If you guys want a hat and a Raiders t-shirt, go down there to the below to that link, chatsports.com/Raiders combo. They got gear up to 50% off, up to 60% off. Now, hats and t-shirts, they're real nice. This jersey, on the other hand, Josh Jacobs, is freaking beautiful, but for a limited time only, okay? You got to take advantage of this deal right now, because by the time you watch this video, you might have less than a day to take advantage of it. Go to chatsports.com/NFL jersey and get yourself set up with the Jacobs jersey. I think the last time I checked, they were under $90, might have even been under $80. So hurry up, take advantage of the deal. Let's go down to some more players here. Grades. You get a grade. You get a grade. Foster Moreau. Love me some Foster Moreau, tight end out of LSU. He wore number 18 because he was a leader, and I think it's a big reason why he was trusted so much, especially in the red zone. And he gets an A- grade for me this year. I liked what I saw out of Foster Moreau. He was able to do a lot of different things for this Raiders team. Now, if you look at just the stats, 21 catches, 174 yards, you might be like, Mitch, why is he getting an A-? He was used as a blocker, and I kind of said it before, in 13 games, The dude scored 5 touchdowns. You want to talk about a player who was leaned on when the Raiders needed a touchdown or a big-time play in the red zone? They were looking to foster Moreau. And when you look at what the Raiders' receiving touchdown leaders were, you got Tyrell Williams, Foster Moreau, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. 2 of those players are rookies. Our future is very, very bright. It's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to make this video. Next player, Hunter Renfrow. Cool stat, Hunter Renfrow, Odell Beckham Jr. had the same amount of touchdowns this year. This one, though, I'm going to give an A- grade to. And if you want to put in the comments, I don't have a graphic made for it, but I was thinking about it. Who do you think had a better year? Foster Moreau, Hunter Renfrow? Throw it in the comments. But for Hunter Renfrow, third and Renfrow, now sure, he had a few drops here and there, and it showed his youngness, I guess I'll say, at the end of earlier in the year. One of the reasons why I've earned so much respect for Hunter is because he showed when he was out for that 4 stretch of games that Derek really missed him. Also, he was literally playing through broken ribs, finished out a game because the team needed them. Hunter Renfrow had 49 catches, which was second on the Oakland Raiders behind only Darren Waller with 90. I mean, you're looking at a very, very talented young wide receiver who might not ever be the best receiver in the NFL. Sorry, Hunter. But you're going to find a receiver who could be the next Julian Edelman, could be the next Wes Welker, could be a very, very solid slot receiver for a quarterback in Derek Carr, or heck, for any quarterback that needs to pick up a very, very clutch first down. The last player that the Raiders drafted in 2019, round 7, pick 230, Quinton Bell. I'm going to give it a C grade. I think when you look at Quinton Bell, he's a talented player. I don't think you could put it up here, though. So I'm not really going to waste a lot of time on a 7th round pick that the Raiders released. I do also want to give a special shout out to players like Alec Ingold, A.J. Cole, who also had very, very good seasons. Now here, one more time, is our 2019 draft class. Okay, Clelin Ferrell, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, those were our first round picks. Then you had TRAYVON MULLEN in the 2nd, Maxx Crosby in the 4th, along with Isaiah Johnson and Foster Moreau. Our lone 5th round pick was Hunter Renfrow, and then pick 7, or round 7, 230 overall, was Quinton Bell. So the question that I want to ask every single person watching the Raiders Report right now, grade the 2019 class. Let's go back to school, okay? Let's go Billy Madison style, back to school, back to school. I want you to grade the Raiders 2019 draft class. If you think it's an A, type A. If you think it's a B, type B. C, D, or F, I'm actually not going to allow those grades because I don't think that's it whatsoever. For me, I'm going to give this draft class an A grade. I think when you look at potentially having the offensive rookie of the year, the defensive rookie of the year, Clelin Ferrell is going to be a beast in his 2nd year. You're getting back Jonathan Abram. This team has got a very, very bright future. And y'all, if that doesn't tell you to subscribe to the Raiders Report, I don't know what will. But I'll say it one more time. Get your grades in. A, B. Well, that's all I want.
Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.